The storm outside rattles the diner windows like angry fists. Maya refills coffee cups in silence, invisible as always. Then she hears it from booth 9, half hidden in cigar smoke. "Burn them out if you have to. I want that black family gone by sunrise." Her hand shakes. Hot coffee splashes onto the saucer. The man's eyes snap toward her, cold, calculating. He smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. "Careful, sweetheart. Accidents happen when people hear things they shouldn't." The thunder cracks. The lights flicker. And Maya realizes she knows exactly which family he means. The Johnsons live 2 floors below her in the Riverside Apartments, a crumbling brick building in South Detroit that smells like mold and broken promises. Sarah Johnson teaches 2nd grade and bakes cookies for the whole floor every Sunday. Her husband Marcus works double shifts at the auto plant. His laugh still somehow loud enough to fill the hallways. Their daughter Zoe just turned 7, gap-toothed and fearless, always asking Maya to read her stories. Maya's own apartment is barely bigger than a closet, but the Johnsons made it feel like home, and now someone wants to burn them out. She finishes her shift with her heart hammering against her ribs. The rain soaks through her jacket as she runs the 6 blocks home, past boarded-up storefronts and flickering streetlights. By the time she reaches Riverside Apartments, her lungs are screaming. She takes the stairs 2 at a time, her wet sneakers squeaking against concrete. When she reaches the Johnson's door, she can already smell smoke, thin and acrid, curling under the doorframe like a poisonous snake. Maya's fist pound against the door. "Sarah, Marcus, get out." No answer. She tries the handle. Locked. The smoke is getting thicker now, black tendrils reaching for her throat. She backs up, rams her shoulder into the door once, twice. On the 3rd hit, the cheapwood splinters, and she crashes through. The living room is already filling with smoke, orange flames licking up the kitchen wall. And there, slumped on the couch, are Sarah and Marcus, unconscious. But where is Zoe? Zoe! Maya's scream tears through the crackling fire. Then she hears it, a small, terrified voice from the bedroom. "Miss Maya?" She doesn't think. She runs through the smoke, her eyes burning, her skin blistering from the heat. Zoe is curled on her bed, clutching a stuffed rabbit, tears streaming down her soot-covered face. Maya grabs her, pulls her close, and charges back through the flames. By the time they hit the hallway, sirens are wailing in the distance. But they're not fast enough. The building is already dying. The firefighters arrive in a chaos of red lights and shouting voices. Paramedics pump oxygen into Sarah's and Marcus's lungs while Maya sits on the curb, Zoe wrapped in her arms, both of them shaking. The fire marshal approaches, clipboard in hand, his face grim. Accelerant was used. This wasn't an accident. Sarah's eyes find Maya's through the crowd, wide, terrified, understanding. Someone tried to kill them, and Maya knows exactly who. She tells the police everything. The conversation in the diner, the man with the cold eyes and expensive suit. They take notes, nod sympathetically, promise to investigate. But Maya sees the truth in their bored expressions. Nothing will happen. Rich white men don't go to jail for trying to murder poor black families. Not in this city. Not anywhere. 3 days later, an eviction notice appears on the Johnsons' door. 30 days to vacate. The landlord's signature is a cruel flourish at the bottom. The landlord's name is Vincent Caruso, and he owns half the buildings in this neighborhood. All of them falling apart. All of them filled with people who can't afford anywhere else. Maya learns this from Mrs. Chun at the corner store, who's been watching Caruso buy up properties for 20 years. He waits until the buildings are almost condemned. Then he evicts everyone and sells to developers. She whispers, bagging Maya's groceries with shaking hands. He's done it to 4 buildings already. Families end up on the streets. No one stops him. Maya's jaw tightens. Someone has to. She finds Caruso at City Hall, schmoozing with councilmen in expensive suits, his laugh echoing off marble walls. Maya waits until he's alone, then steps into his path. You tried to kill them. Caruso's smile doesn't waver. I don't know what you're talking about, sweetheart, but if you keep spreading lies, I'll sue you for everything you don't have. He leans closer, his breath reeking of scotch. Those people don't belong in my building. They're bringing down property values. I'm doing this neighborhood a favor. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead. Maya's hands curl into fists. You're a monster. Caruso's eyes glitter with something darker than anger. I'm a businessman. And you? You're nobody. He turns to walk away, but Maya's voice stops him cold. Someone will stop you. He looks back over his shoulder, smirking. Who? You? The question hangs in the air like smoke, and Maya realizes she doesn't have an answer. Not yet. That night, she lies awake in her apartment, listening to the Johnsons pack their belongings to the thin walls. Sarah's quiet sobs, Marcus's angry muttering, Zoe asking why they have to leave. Maya stares at the water-stained ceiling and feels something break inside her chest. She spent her whole life invisible, a waitress, a nobody, exactly what Caruso called her. But maybe being invisible means people don't see her coming. Maybe it's time to stop hiding. She starts digging. Public records at the library. Old newspaper articles on microfiche. Property deeds and code violations buried in city databases. Maya learns that Caruso doesn't just own Riverside Apartments. He owns 12 buildings across Detroit, all in poor neighborhoods, all filled with black and brown families. She finds a pattern. Fire, eviction, sale. Over and over. And she finds something else. Caruso is planning to sell Riverside in 2 weeks to a development company for $5 million. The Johnsons aren't the first victims. They're just the latest. Maya knows she can't stop him alone. But she remembers something Mrs. Chin said about a man who's been buying up buildings too. Not to demolish them, but to save them. His name is Rashid Al-Farsi, a real estate investor from Dubai who moved to Detroit 3 years ago. People call him crazy for investing in dying neighborhoods. Maya calls him at midnight, her voice shaking as she explains everything. There's a long silence on the other end. Then, give me the address. I'll be there tomorrow. Hope flickers in Maya's chest like a stubborn flame. Rashid arrives in a black SUV, his suit immaculate but his eyes tired, like a man who's seen too much of the world's ugliness. He walks through Riverside Apartments slowly, running his fingers over cracked walls and broken railings, listening to tenant stories of the patience of a priest hearing confessions. When he reaches the Johnsons' half-packed apartment, Sarah's eyes are red from crying. We have nowhere to go, she whispers. Rashid kneels down to Zoe's level, his voice gentle. What if I told you that you could stay? Zoe's eyes go wide. Forever? Rashid stands, his expression hardening as he turns to Maya. How much is Caruso selling for? Maya shows him the documents she found. $5 million. Rashid pulls out his phone, makes a call in rapid Arabic. When he hangs up, there's steel in his smile. Tell Mr. Caruso he has a competing offer. $6 million. Cash. Closing in 48 hours. Maya's breath catches. You're buying the whole building? Rashid nods. And the 11 others he owns. All of them. I'm going to make sure he never hurts another family again. The meeting happens in a glass conference room overlooking the Detroit River. Caruso arrives in a cloud of cologne and arrogance, his lawyer trailing behind him like a trained dog. But when he sees Rashid sitting at the head of the table, his smirk falters. You're the buyer? Rashid slides the contract across the table. $65 million for all 12 properties. Non-negotiable. You sign today, or I go to media with every code violation, every suspicious fire, every family you destroyed. Caruso's face goes purple. You can't prove anything. Rashid opens a folder. Inside are photos, documents, testimony. Maya's testimony. Try me. Caruso's hands shake as he reaches for the pen. His lawyer whispers urgently in his ear, but it's over and he knows it. He signs with vicious, angry strokes, then shoves back from the table. You think you're some kind of hero? He spits at Rashid. You'll lose everything on these buildings. They're worthless. Rashid stands, buttoning his jacket with calm precision. To you, maybe, but to the families living there, they're worth everything. Caruso storms out, and the door slams like a coffin closing. The room fills with silence. Then Rashid turns to Maya, and he's smiling. It's done. The Johnsons move back into their apartment 3 days later. But it's not the same apartment. Rashid's contractors have gutted the fire damage, replaced the wiring, fixed the plumbing, painted the walls a warm yellow that makes Zoe squeal with joy. Sarah cries when she sees it. Marcus shakes Rashid's hand so hard the older man laughs. You saved us, Marcus says, his voice breaking. Rashid shakes his head. Maya saved you. I just had the money. He looks at Maya standing in the doorway, and there's something like respect in his eyes. She's the hero of the story. But Maya doesn't feel like a hero. She feels like someone who finally stopped being invisible. Rashid offers her a job managing the buildings, making sure families like the Johnsons are protected, that rent stays affordable, that no one else has to run through fire to save the people they love. She takes it without hesitation. And on her first day, she stands in the lobby of Riverside Apartments, watching children play in the courtyard that used to be filled with broken glass. The building is alive again. The people are safe. And Vincent Caruso? He's just another forgotten name in a city that's learned to fight back. 7 months later, Maya gets a letter. It's from Caruso, postmarked from Florida, where he fled after selling everything. Inside is a single sentence. You ruined me. Maya reads it once, then tears into pieces and throws them in the trash. Because she didn't ruin him. He ruined himself. She just made sure he couldn't ruin anyone else. That night, she sits on her fire escape with Zoe, teaching her to read under the stars. The little girl's voice is bright with wonder. Miss Maya, what does justice mean? Maya thinks about fire and courage and a stranger from across the world who chose to help. She smiles. It means that sometimes, sweetheart, the good guys actually win.